What is up, guys, and welcome back to my channel, GGFOREX, and I've got a haircut, finally. Look at that. I feel good, I feel clean, it's about time. Like, thank you, the barbers have opened. I don't have to wear like a hat anymore, I don't have to have my hood up, you don't have to look at the crap. It's better, isn't it? It's better, it feels good. All I need to do now is allow them to do the beard, but whenever that happens, I don't know, I'm just happy I got a haircut. But I hope you have had an amazing trading week last week. What I'm going to do is explain to you now how I grew my account to 30%. I'm guessing that's going to be the name of the title of this video. So this is how I managed to grow my account by 30% in 4 days. And I made some silly mistakes in those days, which I'll now avoid for the following week, because today is Sunday. Obviously, markets open at 10 o'clock tonight. I won't be trading tonight. I'll just be looking, analysing the charts. So on this video, I'm basically going to walk you through my thought process, what I look for now, how I enter, and really make the decent gains, because I only won 50% of my trades. If those of you who have been following my Instagram, I've explained everything. I showed you my entries. Some of them are pretty epic. If I got a screenshot somewhere, I'll put it on the screen. But some literally just whipped in and then went straight down. It was pretty epic, and I could have capitalized off those trades so much more knowing what I know now and what I was going to show you guys. But it's pretty special. It's pretty special, and you guys have been asking me on DMs what my strategy is, and I'm going to try and explain it to you the best way possible. It's going to take a long time to grasp. I'm still grasping it at the moment. I'm barely scratching the surface. I'm at the tip of the iceberg here. So I'm going to go for it now, explain it to you, my thought process, because there's a trade on pound yen that could be quite sweet. But let me walk you through my thought process. We'll get on a computer, and you guys are going to get some knowledge points. So make sure you got pen and paper and make some notes, because this is going to be sick. Right, guys, hope you can see me. I'm in the corner of your screen. So as I said on this video, I've turned 3,000 into £3,916, which is pretty insane for me. Obviously, when I was a part of the Smartcharts, I was getting like 1-to-1 returns. So when you join the Smartcharts family, and you combine what they teach you there, which is the basics, high highs, high lows, you know, that sort of simple structure, and then you combine it with what I'm going to teach you when you join the GGFOREX family, well, you'll be making massive returns. Like, when I first started doing this, I did 25% in 1 day, which you guys have seen on my Instagram. If you're a part of it, you already know. But for those of you who are not, I highly recommend you do, because you see all my entries, my X6, what's going on, what's my thought process throughout the day. So when I got 25% return in 1 day, my mind was like blown. I was like, okay, technically I'm done for the year. You know, if people say, oh, you do really good if you get 3% or 4% return every month, you're doing amazing. I got 25% return in a day. You know, obviously you got to keep that. Obviously, if you overtrade or you break your rules or you get greedy or make stupid decisions, you can easily eat through that 25%. But the fact is, I made 25% in 1 day, and I was like, oh my God, this is a game changer. This is literally the key to my financial freedom. Because you only need to make a few trades to make insane gains, right? I'm making 3 decent trades a week. You know, if you're making a 1 to 10 return, which is very possible doing this, and I'll show you how, you're laughing, basically. You're laughing because, one, you're not trading at weird times of the day, and I'll explain at the end of the video. You're not trading too much. You don't need to be staring at the charts all the time. And 9 times out of 10, most of my trades are pending trades, so I'm not doing at-market trades. I am doing it the night before, probably around about 8-9 o'clock at night, and just seeing what's setting up, where the market's going to go, where are the banks going to go, where do they need to go, where are they driving the price. And this is how you sort of predict what they're going to do and where it's going to go. And I'll break it down for you guys, but it is exciting. So as I said, I am looking at the pound yen for a buy. Why am I looking for a buy? How far do I know it's going to go up? Let me break it down and explain to you. So we're in pound yen. We are on the daily chart. So let's go on the weekly. So if you look at the weekly, you can clearly see it is a downwards trend. Let's just draw a simple trend line that everyone knows. You know, we're in a downwards trend. There's still price to go up. There's still movement to go up, right? So we're going to be looking for buys, because the price is kind of in a weird place. And if you have a look, we are making higher highs, higher lows. So price is going up. Let's just draw that on you for you there. highs, high lows. We've still got some room to go. We're not going to go that high because we're going to go on the lower time frames, right? So in my eyes, pound yen, we're looking to buy the pound against the yen. Let's just go back on the daily. Let's get a better insight. Like why am I looking for buys again? Well, if we're getting high highs, high lows, where's the price going to go? Well, to me, just looking at the daily chart, the banks are losing money, because if you think about the banks, what they do is that they hedge their money. So if those of you don't understand, I'm going to use batteries here to explain, and I don't know why I'm doing this, but I've started, so I'm going to follow through with it. So imagine a bank, right? It wants to drive the price up. So if you're driving the price up, it's because you want to sell, because you sell high, buy low. It's the same with every industry. You want to buy something low and you want to sell it for a higher price. It's how you make money, right? Same thing with the markets, same thing with the banks. So the banks don't want to sell their stuff at a lower price. They want to sell at a high price. So what do? They manipulate the market to sell at a higher price where they're in drawdown. So you need to find where the banks are in drawdown to predict of where the price is going to go. So if the banks do a massive buy to then sell, technically they're in profit on the sell because they want to sell the price, they want to sell it, so they're in massive profit, but they're still got a huge buy order here that they haven't got a stop loss on. So if you guys can understand, so they're buying it to put the price up, to sell it at a better price, so it drives the price down, but they're still losing money. They need to close off this trade up here. So in order to close this off, they need to drive price back up. And you'll see, I'll explain to you through the charts, they need to drive price back up to make this original buy order that they used to sell it, to bring price back up, to close it off, right? So the banks put the price up, make billions on the way down, then they do another sell to buy to bring the price back up, close off this original trade, so this now breaks even. So they never lost money, they've made billions, and it goes back up, breaks even. And they just do that again and again and again and again and again. Obviously, the banks don't usually know that information, and the government do eventually find them for manipulating the market, but they get away with it because they'll find them like, I don't know, like a couple billion. It's a $5 trillion a day market. They don't really care. They probably make that on like not even in an hour in the day. They make a couple billion. So like to them it is nothing when once in a blue moon they get caught out for it. Hence why they use the news. That's why people say don't trade when the news is on, because the banks are going to mess with some stuff. But if you already know kind of what they do and where they're going to go, it's just a great opportunity for you guys to make money. And obviously in the GGFOREX family we teach you how to do that. So if you want to know how to do that, join the group. Because it hasn't launched yet, we need to get more members in so we can learn more together. That will be happening very soon and I am super excited about that. But let's just get into the strategy. So I hope you guys understood that. So the banks hedged, they took huge buys to sell it off and they put huge sells to buy it. Make sense? Sell high, buy low. So let's just go into this. So we're looking for buys. So I'm not going to go on the daily and be like, well, I'm not going to buy here because it's too high. You know, I want to buy at a better price. So I'm looking to buy here. But let's see where the market's going to go. Where could the banks go? Well, if we have a look in this area, what I'm going to do is I'm going to just draw a little rectangle to what I'm looking at. What do they just say? The banks buy to sell. Make sense? They put the price up to sell it at a higher price. Price goes down. Now, where's the price going to go? Well, the banks are in drawdown. This huge buy order, this green bar, this is a huge, they're in loss. They've made billions on the way down, but this is still, there's no stop loss here. They need to close this order off. So I know this price, eventually, if it goes up, down, up, down, up, down, in your phase one, phase two, that we all know. But we all know, well, not all know, but you guys know after watching this video, that price has to close off at this point because the banks are losing money, right? So that's our range. This is where we can go to. So we know we're not going to stay in a trade too long and not, want to capitalize on maximum gains. We want to get the best return. We don't want to get into it and it cap and then come back down on us on a retracement. We want to get in, we want to get out. When everyone's getting in, we want to get out. That makes sense? So I'm looking for buys. So that means I want to buy at a lower price. So let's have a look for a huge sell to buy. We're on a daily. And look, as we can see here, we had a huge sell to buy around this area, but as you can see, the banks brought the price down and whipped it out. So this has been taken care of. So let's break it down. Let's go onto a lower time frame. Let's go onto the 4 hours. Let's see where we can get in. You guys can see that. Right, so where can we go? We've got phase 1, phase 2. So we have got a sell candle around this area. If we have a look, if we get the horizontal tool out, you can get a better idea. So this was a huge sell to buy. As you can see, price is whipped down into it, closing this trade off. Let's move up one. We've got this one here. Let's have a look. Have a look. Might need to go down a time frame. This is where I'm looking at the moment. The big sell to buy. Price hasn't actually come down to trigger this one yet. Let's drop it down a time frame to the 1 hour. This is how you do it. What you do, you start at the higher time frames. See where you can go. See your range, and then try and predict of where it could possibly go down next. Because you know, there's not an exact science to this. I mean, I could be wrong. This might not actually trigger tomorrow. It might not actually trigger Tuesday, but it might trigger Wednesday. You know, like I've had pending trades that I've done 5 days prior, and it's triggered, and I'm like, oh, I forgot I even did that trade. And it's worked out, and it's made me money, which is great. That was on NZD USD, which you guys seen on my Instagram. So, and that was a great entry. You're back. Sorry about that. My I didn't realise my camera died for a second then. Right, you recharge. We're back in. It's all good. So, we're still on a pound yen. What I've done is I went through the weekly. I realised there's still room for the buy, for the upside. We got higher highs, higher lows. So that means I'm looking for buys on the pound against the Japanese yen. We also look for the time frame. So we're looking for candles where the banks are in drawdown, right? So we're looking for where the banks, if you want to push the price up, that means they got a buy at a lower price. So as you can see here, on the 15-minute time frame, and I'm going to draw where the price, where the banks are potentially, oh, not that one, where the banks are potentially going to want to move the price. I mean, there's no guarantee science, there's no guarantee you're going to get it, there's no guarantee that it's going to trigger that day, because there's no guarantees in trading. It's just how it is. Remember, you don't have to win all the time with a strategy. You know, I've only won 50%, but I'm up 30%. Like, think about it, I've only won half my trades, and I'm up 50%. I mean, I'm up 30%. I mean, there's a lot of silly mistakes in that. So this week coming, it'll be insane. So let me just look at the rectangle tool. So to me, I think the banks are going to be pushing the price down here, and I believe that the price could go up here because, you know, the banks are losing money here. The big buy to sell, which means they're making billions on the way down, but they're still in drawdown. That means they're losing at the same time. So they need to bring this price back up to wick out of their big buy order. They're losing money on it, remember? So we're looking for buys. Price is in consolidation. So we don't really know where it's going. So what it's doing is, you know, people get in a range and they want to break out of that range. But where? You know? Horizontal line. So let's just have a look at this. So this, as we can agree on, is a range. So here and here. So what are you going to get in the range? We're going to have stop losses for people who are going to be buying or selling. So what the bank's going to do, they're going to take all that money out of the stop losses, your money. They're going to take all the sellers' stop losses, they're going to take all the buyers' stop losses, and then they're going to go in the direction of where they always want to go, which is up here towards this area, right? So what I'm going to say on the 15-minute chart, we can see that this is a big sell to buy candle. See that? So if we look on the probably 1 hour candle, we'll probably see a big red candle, but I want to get a better entry. So I'm going on the 15-minute charts. So I believe that it's going to range tomorrow, range through the Asia session, and the price is going to come down, and then it's going to work its way back up. Because remember, the markets work in phases, you know, as we learned through Smartcharts, phase 1, phase 2, phase 1, phase 2. But what we're doing is we are going to where the banks are in drawdown, are not going with the trend. We're not going with support and resistance. This is nothing like that at all. We are going where the banks need to go. So we're already ahead. Remember, the banks and hedge funds move the market. We're just figuring out where and when. We're not going to get it right all the time, and you don't need to. That's the glory. Okay, so, oh, down magic mouse. So for me to be comfortable right here, I'm going to put in my buy entry. So I want to buy at this candle. I have my stop loss just below it. Okay, but then if you look even closer, it could go down here, because look, there's a huge sell to buy down here. You say, well, George, there's a price down here, right? But if you think about it, you are 100% correct. But if it comes down here, we're then no longer in a buyer's market. We should be looking for sells, because now we haven't got higher highs, higher lows. We've got lower highs and lower lows. So then we should be looking for sells. But as we look from a higher time frame, we're looking for buys. So what we want to do is look for the next banker's candle. So for me, I want to be buying there. I want to have my stop loss at the, so wick to wick, and I want to take my profits up here because I know they're in drawdown. So I'm risking 15 pips, right, to take 115. So what is that? I'm risking £78 to make 580. What's that? 1 to 6? 1 to 6 ratio? Roughly. I could be wrong. My maths ain't that great. It doesn't have to be. When you have smart charts, it works out all the risk for you. There's no working out lot sizes. You just drag it to where you want to be. And as you can see here on the left-hand side, it works out the percentage risk of what you're taking. Okay? So with this strategy, you can have a lot tighter stop losses and a lot bigger gains. Remember, I'm risking 15 pips to take 115 if I wanted to, because the spreads and smart charts are slightly higher. I can make it a little bit fatter, put it behind this main price. You know, I'm risking now 23 pips. Obviously, when you move your stop loss, think of it as how much profit you actually want. Playing it safe, you're going to take less. So I'm now risking £77 still, but I'm going to be making £379 instead of 575. So I'm happy with this. I'm happy with my entry. What I'm going to do, I'm just going to call it price action. This strategy hasn't got a name. I think it's called smart money. I think that's who was saying it's smart money, but we could adopt it. If it works out great for you guys, we could call it the GGFOREX strategy. I do not know. It's not mine, so I'm not going to claim it's mine. But, you know, for branding purposes, it could be. We can just nick it. And if you guys are super successful with it, which you will be after, you know, we properly work together on this, and you're going to be making like 30% days, you're going to love it. Like, it is phenomenal, okay? Even if you make a 10% gain, 10% in a day, like, that is nuts. Remember, people are happy if they make 2 or 3. They think that's insane. A month, 10% in a day. You're technically done for the month with that one trade, you know? So what I'm going to do, price action, no expiry date, might not trigger tomorrow, might trigger the next day, we don't know. So I'm just going to put that on. And why am I saying it's that high? Why is it going to target these highs? Because 1, we're in drawdown. 2, we already know we're in a buyer's market because of the higher time frames. And also, there's still more room to go. So if we were to back out of this and look at our weekly again, you know, price, it still has to go up here. And we're only taking that tiny little bit there. Like if we were to go on a daily, you know, price is going to go up here at some point. We're only going to there, that little bit. So it looks like I'm making a massive gain, but really when you break it down into the smaller time frames, it's not that much. I mean, I'm doing 115 pips. So if you guys understand my thought process through that, I looked at the higher time frames, I looked at where the banks wanted to drive the price, I understood the higher highs, high lows. I was looking for where the banks were losing money on both sides to, you know, remember, buy low, sell high. Simple, right? So you got to look for the big sellers or buyers candle to where the banks have moved the price into their own favor. Does that make sense? If it doesn't make sense, don't worry. I've created a group on Facebook. The links are down in the description below. Join the group. You'll also, when you join it, there'll be a little question box in one of the rules, and it'll be for my pre-trade checklist. So everything I look for before I place a trade, broken down for you, because it's so easy to get excited believe me, about just getting into a trade. You think, oh, this is really good, but when you go through your checklist, is it actually making sense? Does it fit my rules? It has to fit your rules, it has to make sense. Remember, you don't have to place loads of trades to make money with a strategy. Just 1 or 2 for the week and you're making a huge percentage gain. That's just the truth, okay? So, if you guys are super excited, please join the group down below. Check it out. It isn't open yet, so I've got a bunch of people in the moment that are waiting to join it. It will be launching this week, I promise you. I just need to get more people in so then I can help more people at the same time, a lot more closely, and it's going to be amazing, guys. I cannot wait. So if you have any questions about this, please leave them in the comment box below. And yeah, it's amazing. I'll see you on the next one, guys. Please like, subscribe. You're legends.